Emotional attachment is not a lottery. It is an outcome. It is the predictable, neurological response to a carefully constructed emotional environment. The man who relies on surface-level attraction, looks, wealth, or humor will get initial interest, but he will never achieve the deep, fast, and resilient bond that defines true attachment. To make a woman emotionally attached to you quickly, you must shift your focus from chasing her attention to architecting her emotional experience. Women do not fall in love with who you are on your resume. They fall in love with how they feel about themselves when they are with you. Your goal is to become the mirror that reflects her highest, most desired self, valued, understood, excited, and safe. If she associates your presence with the affirmation of her own worth and potential, her mind will naturally and rapidly seek proximity to you. This is the psychological principle of self-completion. You complete an emotional narrative she has for herself. We are discussing applied psychology, not cheap tricks. This is about understanding the fundamental human need for secure, intense connection and strategically fulfilling that need. The method is divided into 3 critical areas: understanding her inherent attachment style, activating cognitive, affective, and behavioral investment, and triggering the core neurochemistry of bonding and craving. We begin by dismantling the largest obstacle, operating without a psychological map. The single greatest predictor of relationship stability and rapid emotional bonding is understanding adult attachment theory. This is the key that separates the psychological expert from the amateur. Your goal is not just to attract her, but to become her secure base, regardless of her innate relationship style. Every adult falls predominantly into one of 3 insecure attachment styles, or the ideal secure style. If she exhibits the anxious, preoccupied style, she craves extreme closeness, fears abandonment, and seeks constant reassurance. She often pushes partners away by being too much. Your strategic response must be to provide consistency and proactive reassurance, but crucially, you must pair it with boundary enforcement. Do not feed the anxiety loop by over-texting. Instead, validate her feelings but maintain your structure. For instance, I understand you're anxious when I'm busy. I can text you every night at 8 p.m. for 5 minutes, but I need space until then. I am consistent. This provides security through predictability, not surrender. For the dismissive, avoidant style, she prioritizes independence, fears vulnerability, and withdraws when intimacy deepens. Focus on behavioral investment over effective investment initially. Build attachment through shared, stimulating activities and projects, not deep, overwhelming emotional talks. Use low-pressure check-ins and subtly express your own independence. She attaches when she realizes you will not sacrifice your life or smother her, making your presence a choice, not an obligation. If you encounter the fearful, avoidant, disorganized style, which cycles between craving connection and fearing hurt, you must be the emotional anchor. Offer unconditional emotional safety and radical acceptance during her pull-away phase. The fastest way to attach a fearful avoidant is to be the one person who doesn't panic or chase when they retreat. Your stability is the bond. By identifying her style, you cease interacting with her behavior and start addressing her core psychological need. Attachment solidifies when a person feels they have invested significantly into the relationship. Investment theory states that we value what we contribute to. You must activate 3 levers, making her the active participant in the bonding process. First, the cognitive investment lever. The mind is the engine of attachment. You must create mental loops. Share just enough detail about your life to trigger curiosity, intrigue over disclosure. End a conversation with a subtle cliffhanger. Also use future pacing by dropping casual, low-pressure references to shared future events, forcing her mind to visualize a life with you. The key is the word we. Second, the effective investment lever. Monotony kills attachment. The bond intensifies in the peaks and valleys of emotional experience. Use controlled intensity and contrast. Be warm and deeply engaging, creating a peak, then naturally pivot to subtle focus on your own priorities, creating a temporary valley. This push-pull makes your attention a high-value reward. Pair this with selective vulnerability, opening up about a meaningful goal or challenge. This invites her to respond with empathy, a powerful form of effective investment. Third, the behavioral investment lever. Ask for small, non-threatening favors that require minimal effort but activate her sense of contribution. This triggers the Ben Franklin effect. Use small asks like, "I need a second opinion on which of these 2 shirts to buy. You have the best taste." Also, initiate shared missions like planning a date or cooking a meal. Her time and effort spent on your shared world becomes an emotional investment she will subconsciously seek to protect. To attach quickly, you must engage the brain's fundamental bonding chemistry. You are dealing with neurobiology. Trigger the dopamine craving loop using intermittent reward. Be highly rewarding, engaging, positive, followed by periods of non-reward, a slight delay in response focused on your own work. Her brain is conditioned to chase the next interaction, leading to a state of emotional dependence that feels like attraction. Next, activate the oxytocin trust loop, the chemical of trust and attachment. The most potent trigger for oxytocin is the feeling of being profoundly understood. Practice strategic empathy, reflecting her feelings back to her with precision and non-judgment. This creates an emotional safe harbor. Supplement this with strategic proximity, using physical touch that is brief, confident, and intentional. This nonverbal cue of comfort and safety accelerates trust. Finally, utilize the emotional mirroring effect. Match her energy and depth. Attunement, not mimicry. If she is speaking seriously, your tone and eye contact must convey seriousness. If she is playful, match the light energy. She should feel, "He just gets me." This unconscious alignment creates a sense of profound compatibility, a powerful adhesive for fast attachment. The final element is ensuring the connection is irreplaceable. This means maintaining subtle autonomy. Women attach fastest to men who balance intimacy with unshakable personal boundaries. If you are constantly available, you become a convenience. Maintain clear passions and social commitments outside of her. Your presence becomes high value because it is not easily given. Create legacy and inside culture. Establish an inside joke bank of shared, private humor and code words. These are anchors that exclude the rest of the world and build an exclusive culture. Also use symbolic moments, intentionally framing small positive events as significant milestones. Remember that ridiculous coffee shop where we almost spilled the latte? That's going to be our spot. This elevates ordinary experience to shared narrative. In synthesis, fast attachment is achieved through a high density of quality, psychologically informed interactions, not merely the passage of time. The man who succeeds is the one who was the emotional anchor, the excitement trigger, and the greatest mirror. When you consistently apply the understanding of attachment styles, activate the 3 investment levers, and strategically employ neurochemical triggers, you remove luck from the equation. You stop waiting for her to attach, and you start building the environment in which her attachment is the inevitable, predictable, and rapid psychological response. The result is a deep, stable bond where she not only loves you, but she comes to need the unique emotional landscape you create. She will not just be attracted, she will be permanently tethered.